Financial scams are on the rise, and with AI, they're getting more and more sophisticated every day. If someone pressures you to act quickly, ask for secrecy, or request payment through gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency, stop. Legitimate financial professionals don't rush you or demand unusual payment methods. Before you send money or share personal information, slow down and verify. Protect your future. When in doubt, ask questions.
If you're suspicious of a scam, call the team at Foundation Wealth today at 706-278-0214.
You snoozed twice this morning, spilled your coffee once, and you've already blamed last night's referee for your morning mood.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's time to embrace the chaos and step into the madness.
Bro, you about to see a side of me you didn't even know existed.
Featuring guests who are over-caffeinated and less reasonable than the average person.
Man, I think it's just ridiculous.
Come on, man. Are you serious? Ugh.
Fans, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Welcome to the show.
So buckle up. It's time for hot takes and hot mics. This is the Morning Rant, where the only thing more unpredictable is Dave before his third cup of coffee.
I just felt like running.
On WPGY, the Sports Pig.
It's the Tailgate Thursday right here, presented by Green Heating and Cooling. Welcome into the Morning Rant. Dave Garner in with you till 11 o'clock this morning for just an hour. It's the fastest 1 hour in all of Sports Talk Radio, and it lives right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia, on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com. Good morning, North Georgia. What's up? My man Will Cooper back in with us here on a Tailgate Thursday, presented by your friends at Green Heating and Cooling. Once again, Green Heating and Cooling, they've been getting it done since 1971. They can get it done for you, too. Again, call Green today and let them make the difference in your home like they did with my home. Again, replacing my HVAC unit. I've got another unit that's also going to need replacing pretty soon, so I'm already talking to the guys at Green about replacing that unit there. But again, they are a tradition of comfort, and they can certainly help you out. Coop, what's going on, my man? Once again, joining us right here on a Tailgate Thursday. Again, we had Will with us on our Rally Towel Tuesday earlier in the week. Back again for the second time this week, partner, man. You looking good.
Yeah, I'd like to address something in the intro that bothers me. Do you even drink coffee?
Why is that? Yes, I drink coffee every morning.
Do you really?
I drink a lot of coffee. Yeah. Why do you think?
Like the entire time you and I have been friends, I have never seen you drink coffee. You're normally just a peace tea guy.
Oh gosh, yeah. Here we go.
I just wanted to double check that we weren't, false advertising.
Hey, here's the thing now, and I'll tell you this. So we've got a deal with Jasper Coca-Cola, right? I mean, Jasper Coca-Cola has jumped on board here with us on the Morning Rant, and they are our text line sponsor. Which, by the way, the text line is now open at 866-888-0744. But they were nice enough, the folks at Coca-Cola were nice enough to put us a big, refrigerator in the front, door, basically, in the little, our little reception area there. And they come and they stock it, once a week or once every other week or whenever we run out. So the one thing they've been doing is they've been bringing us just a variety of things. I mean, because you don't realize, you kind of forget what all Coca-Cola has, but they've got the Dunkin' Donut coffee, they got Monster energy drinks, but they also have the Rain, drink energy drinks as well. That REIGN Rain drinks. So they have a lot of different things, but one of their things is peace tea. Now, I did not ask for peace tea, but they brought peace tea, and there's a good bit of peace tea here. Now, I'm not the only one that drinks the peace teas here in the building. Again, I'm going to tell on our engineer, Perry Pennington. He also is a big fan of those razzleberries, So, hey, I'm not the only one that sits here and drinks these peace teas. So anyway, but I just letting you know. So it's not my fault, man, that they're bringing them to us, man.
We as a society have oft wondered, where have we wandered? Well, I'm just telling you right now, we have grown men asking for razzleberry peace tea to be placed so that they can drink them. And we wonder, this goes back to the eugenics conversation we had. We wonder why we have to take testosterone boosters around here. I'm telling you, you guys got to get off the razzleberry, man.
There's a lot of backstory here that you folks out there don't know between the whole PST thing and Will Cooper, because back in our broadcast days, going to these high school football stadiums and things, a lot of them are Coca-Cola schools, and so they have Coca-Cola products. And when you've been working all day and you get to a Friday night and you've been working all week and your voice is a little raspy, and you sometimes water just doesn't sit well on your vocal cords. You need something with a little bit more flavor. And I don't want soda because I'm not a big carbonated guy, right? So sometimes you go with a tea, with some sort of a tea. And I ain't gonna lie, man, I like the peace teas. You make fun of me all you want to, but man, I like those peace teas. So have at it. So this goes back to
Lipton sweet tea next to it.
Well, no, they usually don't have those. Now they have a Gold Peak, which is another Coca-Cola product. Those are good, but they're very sweet though. I mean, they're very sugar filled.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like, now I like them.
Razzleberries not?
Well, probably somewhat, but I don't know if it's as much as the Gold. I need to compare the labels.
Just admit it. It's okay. You have a problem.
I don't have a problem. I like them. I mean, I ain't got no problem saying I like me a little peace tea there. But we've got, I will say this. I like a good Fanta orange drink. I like a good Fanta grape drink too, and we've got that. They've loaded us up with ginger ale. So for whatever reason, we have like 4 cases of ginger ale, which some people like ginger ale standalone, but the only time that I really drink ginger ale is if I'm feeling ill, or if I've got a stomach ache or something. Other than that, and I won't go too far into this, but they're good to mix with things, with other adult beverage type things, if you're talking about, your Canada Dry and your Seagrams and Schweppes and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, there's a lot of ginger ale here though. So come get it right here. But now we appreciate you guys being with us on this Tailgate Thursday. I promise we're going to talk sports in a minute. But again, we had to get on the comment there. But the Jasper Coca-Cola text line is open at 866-888-0744. And we appreciate you guys being with us. Hey, we already got somebody before we even get started here today, because we are going to dive into some Atlanta Braves talk a little deeper than we went earlier in the week whenever Will was here on Tuesday. My man Billy D was out this week. So again, Will Cooper sitting in here on a Thursday, his normal day now, with us right here on this Tailgate Thursday. And so we're going to have our Tomahawk take coming up in the next segment. We're going to dive into our Atlanta Braves. We're going to have our high school prep rally where we talk about some of the things going on, which we are going to do here a little bit in this first segment, but we'll revisit a couple things as far as football notes and news. And then, of course, we'll have our Cooper Predictor at the end of the show. If you're wanting to put down a little money on something, then you'll want to keep it locked right here, because this edition of the show right here on a Thursday is the one that could make you rich. I guess we'll see. Now, we don't promote gambling, but you never know.
Sounds like you did.
It does sound like we did right here. But we do have a listener chime in and say, hey, a longtime listener was reading an article that the government is proposing a bill for transfer and NIL limits. Can't wait to hear you and the refrigerator mover discuss this tomorrow. There is a lot going on right now in the world of college football and college athletics, for that matter, as far as the government being involved and stepping in. We've always said that the NCAA is kind of a no backbone kind of an organization that doesn't like to have to step in and make decisions for the betterment of whatever's going on. So now you've got the American Football Coaches Association. You even have to have the federal government step into the conversation at times. We are going to talk a lot more about that tomorrow with John Davis. John actually shared an article with me this morning talking a little bit about that. So we're going to dive into it, come up with some thoughts. But I want to put it out there to you, Coop. Not something that we necessarily scheduled to talk about here today, but I know you have opinions on it. I mean, you're wearing your Alabama shirt here today. For those that are watching on YouTube, you can see that. But you are a big follower of the NCAA and college athletics. You and I have had numerous conversations about this topic as well. But your thoughts, man, on the government getting inside there and proposing some bills?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be regulated somewhere. Being an Alabama fan, we saw it firsthand with a guy named Hollywood Smothers, who was a running back for NC State last year. Alabama offered him $1 million. He's committed, enrolled at the University of Alabama, and then Texas comes in and offers him $2 million, and he just transfers to Texas.
Wow.
Transferred from Alabama to Texas, never played a snap.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to do something with some kind of cap. Kirby Smart talked about it, where somebody asked him about if the NCAA doesn't step up in some of these ways, how do you feel about the SEC on its own? He said, I've been telling Greg Sankey we should do that for years.
Yeah.
That the SEC is good enough for the league on its own. They're probably right about that the SEC would draw itself enough of a crowd that they could play their own league, and they could probably expand. I mean, you could probably call Florida State, Clemson, Miami, maybe pick some off from the ACC, Georgia Tech, North Carolina type teams, and have a 24-team Super League that plays that, and you'd have a national title out of the SEC.
Yeah.
I don't know how all that would work, but back to the NIL thing, there has to be some kind of salary cap or limit on how much you can make. I know that there's a bill proposed that it would be an age limit instead of just a eligibility limit.
Sure.
I think that's a great idea. I mean, when you see like Diego Pavia at Vanderbilt, I mean, he's as old as I am. Like, I've been working a professional job for 8 years. Like, bro, time to man up. Go grab an application at the Walmart, man.
Right. I was going to say, well, John talks about it, and he was mentioning it yesterday. Again, he's got a lot of bold takes because he's a tech guy. He's an ACC guy through and through, as we know. And, he talks about the arrogance of the SEC and this, that, and the other. And a lot of the conferences are at a point now where they're saying, hey, if the SEC and the Big Ten think they can make it on their own, then let them, but they got to take all their sports with them, and they're not going to have that backing. I think it would be weird to call yourself a national champion when you've only got 20 schools that you're competing against. But at the same time, I mean, hey, it is what it is. It'd be interesting to see how the different leagues would recognize that, as far as the history books and things go. I kind of equated it yesterday to like another live golf thing where, all these guys break away from the PGA. They're getting tons of money thrown at them. It goes for a little while and it's looking good, but then all of a sudden now it's like, their money's running out. Now they're wanting back in. So it'll be interesting to see what the Big Ten and the SEC decide to do, if they decide to go that route at some point, to try to form their own Super League, as you mentioned. But then it would be even more interesting to see what happens if it doesn't work. And then all of a sudden you want to merge back in. Does the NCAA penalize them, or do the other leagues say, well, we'll let you back in, but it's going to be at a price, So there's a lot of dynamics there to think about.
Yeah, the problem with that whole argument for any ACC, Big 12, Pac-12 fan is that, first of all, you haven't had a national title since when? Florida State in or I guess Clemson was probably more recent than Florida State was. Okay, both those programs have fallen off a cliff. The national attention that gets placed on the ACC is a footnote. We kind of mentioned Clemson tongue-in-cheek. We talk about how bad Florida State is, even after they beat Alabama last year. Georgia Tech's a nice story, and I wish they were better. But if we're pretending that they belong in a top 10, top 20 odds of winning the national title year in, year out, then we're fooling ourselves. The ACC is just weak in football. It's okay. It is. The Big 12 is too, outside of Texas Tech. The idea that BYU belongs in some national conversation amongst the top 5 of the SEC and Big 10 is insane. Yeah. The argument about, will track and field last? Probably not. That's probably a difficult thing for the SEC and Big 10 to swing. Now, they would cut down on travel a whole bunch. Yeah. So that would save a lot of money. But I just, any argument about football, because it's king, it's the generation for the revenue that requires for all the other sports. Yeah. Any argument that revolves around, they're going to make a big mistake, that's so nearsighted, and you have to back that up with some kind of competitive advantage that would make ESPN, Fox, CBS not say, we're going to double the money we give the SEC and Big Ten to have exclusive broadcasting rights, because that's where most of the money comes from.
Right, yeah.
But no, don't worry. We'll still pay the ACC the same amount of money to pick up Cal versus FSU in October, and we're going to go head-to-head with Ole Miss LSU. Like, that's just not going to work.
Right, yeah. Hot takes, hot mics right here in this first segment on a topic that we weren't even planning on really hitting right off the top here. But, hey, we are there, man. We brought the conversation to you right here on a Tailgate Thursday. My man, Will Cooper, bringing it right here. Woo! It'll be interesting to see what Big John has to say about that tomorrow right here on the Friday Happy Hour edition of the program. Hey, we're up against our first break. We will continue the conversation on the other side of the break right here, and we will jump in to some high school sports. The Etowah Eagles winning the Class 6A state baseball championship last night as they join a slew of others as state champs here in 2026. That much more right here still ahead on this edition of the Morning Rant, our Tailgate Thursday, brought to you by your friends at Green Heating and Cooling right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia, right here and only on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
Whatever cooling solution makes the most sense, Green Heating and Cooling is ready to help. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new cooling system, Green will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort. With Green, you get more than just a technician. You get someone who's committed to meeting your needs and achieving a high level of training and skills. Someone backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Nobody understands the ins and outs of home comfort like Green. So whatever your situation or budget, Green Heating and Cooling has a solution for you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Grand Slam! 98.1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, the official home for the Atlanta Braves baseball. Big opinions of the big games from the big mouths.
Man, I think it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the Morning Rant on WPGY The Sports Pig, North Georgia's home for ESPN Radio.
Sit down.
Back here on a Tailgate Thursday, presented by your friends at Green Heating and Cooling. Dave Garner, the professor, with you alongside the Golden Boy, Will Cooper, until 11 o'clock this morning right here on the program. Hey, again, Green Heating and Cooling, they've been getting it done since 1971. They can get it done for you, too. Have that summer diagnostic done now to make sure that you preserve your system going into the warmer months here. As we transition into June this weekend, man, we are already at the end of May and moving right along here. Hey, Coop, well, you and I were on Tuesday, and we put out towards the end of the show, and you came up with the categories. We were talking about, what we like to do list here, right? I mean, you and I like to do list. I like to do list with Billy D. John and I do that sometimes as well. And you put out favorite beer, favorite country artist, and favorite summertime food, I guess, right? And so we did have a listener, I say long-time listener. I mean, we've been on the show since March, but they've been listening early on there. But they did chime in, and I told them, I said, we'll get it on because they sent it right after we got off the air on Tuesday there. But the choices were for this particular listener was PBR is the beer. So there you go. George Jones, which, obviously it's a great choice for country artists, and barbecue. Barbecue was the favorite summertime food. So I can get on board with that. I at least wanted to bring that to show, let you know we did have somebody chime in and play along with us.
I was preparing for really bad choices on the back two after PBR was the introduction to the first. I was waiting for Hank Williams Jr. and Marlboro Reds.
Speaking of bad save. Choices,
we'll forgive you for the PBR choice. Yeah, that's all right.
Hey, there you go. We're right here rocking it on a Tailgate Thursday. Had some bold takes there in the first segment, talking a little bit about college football, particularly SEC. Conversations are going down tomorrow with Big John as far as government intervention as far as NIL and some of those things. But talking about the conferences kind of standing alone on their own. And one of the great things I love about this program is that we have good representation across the board, right? I mean, you got John that's ACC, you got Billy D that's that's UGA. Of course, John's Georgia Tech. My man Will Cooper's an Alabama fan for whatever reason. But hey, man, we'll forgive him. But you do follow a little bit of Tech too in your family as well there. So I mean, we've got a lot of fan bases represented right here on the program, and so that's the great thing about it, man. We move these discussions around and keep it going hot and heavy. Hey, the Etowah Eagles, by the way, state champs, man. They got it done. A 2-game sweep over North Paulding. A pair of 1-run wins for the Etowah Eagles, who hang on last night at Coolray Field over in Gwinnett, home of the AAA Gwinnett Stripers. But the Etowah Eagles, congratulations. They add another trophy to the mantle as they They take the 6A bracket. They join Pickens High School, of course, who won the 3A state championship on Monday, Memorial Day, and the Kell Longhorns winning the 4A bracket over the weekend as well. Gordon Lee, our friends up in Chickamauga, winning the single A Division I bracket. So a lot of great state championship representation at the high school baseball level. And man, you love to see it. I know you're familiar with this Etowah Eagle program a little bit, and you followed them over the years.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not? Arguably the most successful run that they've had in Etowah since 2014 of any team of any sport. I mean, for people that aren't familiar with it, it's probably comparable to what Buford has done in football over the last decade. Just dominance, and Etowah has moved from 5A to 6A, 7A. They've been all over the place.
Yep.
They've won state titles in all of them. Consistent production of talent, consistent production of pipeline guys to college. They got a couple of guys on this team that are looking like first-round draft picks for the MLB, skipping college altogether if they so choose to. Just unbelievable. For whatever reason, you have pockets of talent in certain sports. We've talked about that, 100 times. Etowah continues to shine in that regard. So, hated it for Pope a little bit, in the lower bracket.
Yes. They fell to Loganville in the 5A. Yep. We almost had another one
too, man.
Yeah, almost had another East Cobb team there pull it out, but the Loganville Red Devils over there able to beat the Pope Greyhounds. East Cobb nearly had two teams. Really, Pope and Keller, for all intents and purposes, down the street from each other. So, they're in the 4A and 5A respectively. Speaking of today, by the way, over on our sister station, 101.1 The Pulse, we will have live coverage of the Walk of Champions, the Pickens High Dragons. No fancy parade, no floats. I'm not even sure they're shutting down Main Street, but the guys are going to take a walk from the Woodbridge there in Jasper and walk down Main Street. They're encouraging folks, of course, to line Main Street this afternoon at 5 o'clock is when it starts. And we will have live coverage, the afternoon show with Darren and Asa. Now, Darren is out of town, but it will be Asa. But I will join them live from 4 to 6 today over on the porch, over on 101.1 The Pulse, and we will have live coverage of the Walk of Champions, if you will. There is a little bit of rain expected, so hopefully the weather will hold up for us. But again, we're planning on having some interviews and some different things there. State championship T-shirts, you name it, man. There's a lot of things going on. So if you're in or around Jasper later this afternoon, come on by, say hey to us, and celebrate and revel in the state championship for Pickens High Baseball, the first ever men's team sport championship in Pickens High School history. Very, very special. Very special.
Yeah, it's a big step for that school. Obviously a big step for the baseball program. But one thing that we have seen in high school sports over the years is that success breeds more success. So hopefully this is the start of a really good run for not only the baseball program, but also the other programs as well. So big congratulations to those guys. Hate I'll miss it. Send them my best wishes.
Will do. Absolutely. Hey, it's time to talk some Braves.
It's time to chop on.
Swung on it, jolted high in the air, deep right field, back to the wall, a sonic boom out of the ballpark. Braves win it.
From Truist Park to every corner of Braves country, we've got your daily dose of Atlanta Braves baseball.
A walk-off grand slam, and this place erupts here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Highlights, hot takes, and all things red, white, and navy. It's the Tomahawk Take on WPGY, the Sports Pig.
All right, so last night the Braves drop an 8-0 decision to the Red Sox. Well, there wasn't much of a decision there. It was just kind of a thumping. Bryce Elder, certainly not his best performance of the year. He got rocked pretty good in that ball game last night. And again, the offense struggling. Now, they got the dub the other night in the first game of the series against the Red Sox. Even Rysdale looking a little bit shaky there at the end, but the Braves were able to close that one out. But they bounced back last night and really didn't show up. So tonight, the rubber game of that 3-game set before the Braves head to Cincinnati. But your thoughts, though, since the last time we talked on Tuesday, and I wanted to dive into this pitching staff a little bit more, but your thoughts kind of in general, because it seems like the offense is struggling a little bit over this last week.
It is, and the reality is we have a lot of things that are averaging back out to the mean. Again, we're flipping over the baseball card on some of these guys, and it's all happening at once in a lot of ways. let's get over the things that don't make sense. Acuna cannot hit a fastball to save his life. His batting average against the fastball this year is 175.
Wow. Yeah.
Couldn't even tell you why. I mean, again, he's facing a guy yesterday that threw 94 miles an hour, center cut. He swings through it and misses it. No clue what's going on with that. I can't help you there. Ozzie is regressing back to the mean. Matt Olson's regressing back to the mean. Austin Riley is the most inconsistent hitter in baseball. We'll go 3 for 4 one night with, a triple and a homer, and then you don't see him for the next 3 days. Awful with runners in scoring position, hard to watch. So a lot of these guys are just regressing back to the mean. It's just happening all at once. Same thing with the pitching staff. Raisel Iglesias he had a 28 1/3 scoreless inning record going back to last August. That's impossible. I mean, that's just not going to happen for a reliever. So, he gave up some runs. It was bound to happen. We've seen Suarez. We've seen Dylan Lee. Those guys that are normally shut out, they've had some struggles recently. That's all normal as well. All of the stuff that's happened is just regressing back to the mean. So they're still winning. They're still playing winning baseball while this is happening, which is encouraging to see. When you look at the pitching staff, you got guys like Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder's not a sub-2 ERA pitcher. I mean, we just got to be honest. He's somewhere probably on his best year, probably about a 3 ERA. Well, his ERA is back up to 2.5 now. So we're getting back to the mean. Yeah. So that's what's happening right now. Nothing's catastrophically wrong. Drake Baldwin being gone is a big thing. That lineup's going to get extended greatly. And then the last thing is Ha-Seong Kim. I know his batting average isn't there, but last night he just put the tail on a couple balls that were short of the wall, but very hard hit, which is the first time we've seen that this year from him. Right. So there's some upside across the board, but at the same time, again, we got to be realistic that this probably isn't a team that's going to win 110 games. More like 100. Yeah, we've got to be optimistic, but we got to be realistic too, to your point. And I think that when you look at this team and on fire, it's just not really a sustainable pace when you look at how they came out of the gate, which you'll take because now you've at least built a little bit of a cushion. But to sustain that is not realistic. That's why, you're going to have your ebbs and flows, throughout the season where you're not hitting the ball well. But you're right to your point about the whole Acuna thing, though. Yeah, I mean, not catching up to fastballs when he's traditionally a good fastball hitter doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'm not sure what's going on right there. Maybe he just hasn't refound his rhythm after having, spent some time, injured throughout, the summer, what have you. But again, this pitching staff, still for the most part, you're going to have those spots. You're going to have those nights where you lose 8-0, right? You hope you just don't make a habit of that. But again, you only had one run and, 18 innings against the Nationals in game 2 and 3 of that series. You come out, you get shut out last night. So really, if you take away the game the night before, the last 3 out of 4 games, you've scored 1 run, in those 3 games. You sandwiched in, the 6 or 7, I guess you had the other night. But other than that, hopefully this lineup can get to be hitting. Hey, we mentioned yesterday Bob Horner, of course, passing away. I know you're a little young to remember old Horner there, number 5. But again, it's crazy to think that here in the last couple of weeks, the Braves organization has lost Ted Turner, Bobby Cox, and now Bob Horner, who, of course, is a college baseball Hall of Famer and, did a lot of different things there. Of course, was synonymous. He and Dale Murphy gave the Braves fans something to cheer about back in some of those slim years back in the 80s. But Horner gone. So it's been a tough week, man, for this Braves organization all around. Yeah, I did some digging the other day. It's kind of surprising to me that Bob Horner isn't in the Braves Ring of Honor or Hall of Fame, whatever they call it. Right. Do you know who Bob Horner has I think it's within 3 WAR, which is wins above replacement for his career of? It's somebody in the Braves Ring of Honor.
So you're talking about Dale Murphy? I mean, is it Dale Murphy or Chipper Jones?
It's Eddie Matthews.
Oh, it's Eddie Matthews. Wow. Okay. So you're saying he's within 3 points, basically, of okay.
3 wins above replacement of Eddie Matthews.
Oh, wow. Okay. Man. So our next gen stat guy right here, Will Cooper, going off right here. So I didn't realize that. I mean, I would say that after him passing now, there may very well be a number 5 up on the board here pretty soon. Yeah. So, again, Bob Horner passing away at the age of 68. Hey, we're up against our second break. Again, our Tomahawk take presented by our friends at Northside Hospital, Cherokee. Once again, we appreciate all our folks from Northside for being on board with us right here in the second segment of our Thursday, Tailgate Thursday edition of the Morning Rant. When we come back, we'll dive into some more high school news, and our Jasper Coca-Cola text line is hopping. We'll get to a few of our listeners right here when we come back. Stay with us right here on the Morning Rant, right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia, on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
Welcome to your hometown pub. Open 7 days a week, the pub in Ella J is your happy hour hangout. They offer a variety of dishes to satisfy every palate, and their friendly staff is here to ensure a wonderful time. Join them for daily happy hour specials Monday through Thursday. And don't forget, every Wednesday is Wing Wednesday with $1 wings all day long. Located at 941 Maddox Drive in East Ella J. Open Sunday through Wednesday till midnight, Thursday through Saturday till 2 a.m. The pub in Ella J, where every visit feels like home. 98.1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, your official home for flag-to-flag coverage of NASCAR. We bring the heat, you bring the trash talk.
Come on, man. Are you serious?
It's the Morning Rant, live on the Sports Pig app and sportspigradio.com.
Back here on the Tailgate Thursday again, Green Heating and Cooling right here providing a little bit of a refreshment here in this heat. Even though it's been rainy here in North Georgia and it's been cloudy, it's been like a blanket that's held in the heat. It's been very muggy and humid, so we're getting to that time of year for sure where it feels like Georgia. So there you go. A lot of rain, of course, and we always say, it rains like 2 weeks in a row without a break. It gets everything saturated and absolutely just rotted. And then it won't rain again for 2 months. And then we'll be sitting here, in a drought before you know it, having to water the lawn to keep everything alive. But, hey, man, that's just the way it is right here in North Georgia. Dave Garner alongside Will Cooper. Appreciate you guys being with us. Our Jasper Coca-Cola text line popping off. We'll get to a couple of comments here in just a moment. But I do want to check in here and talk a little bit of NBA. OKC up 3-2 against San Antonio. They've got Game 6 here tonight. Meanwhile, the NHL, the Golden Knights sweeping the Avalanche. Man, I honestly did not see that coming at all. But they are in the NHL Finals, just awaiting the winner of the Montreal-Carolina series. Again, the Canes up in that one right there and looking really good. May very well be on a collision course. But, yeah, man, your thoughts on some of this postseason action happening around the country?
Yeah, man. Vegas sweeping Colorado. Boy, did Vegas luck out by getting to play Anaheim, who's a very similar team to Colorado, just run the ice and shoot.
Yeah.
Vegas got through that series with Anaheim, and they seemed like they really figured them out in Game 5 and then blew them away in Game 6. They just carried that over into the Colorado series. And again, Carolina on the other side, a little bit more of their hands full with the Canadians than what I would have anticipated. But at the same time, still looking good there. So, and then as far as the NBA goes, I think I've said it probably ad nauseum at this point, but just good to see no Warriors, Lakers type teams.
But you do have the Knicks, unfortunately, which I'm not sure there's any stopping the Knicks at this point. I mean, my goodness gracious, they haven't lost a postseason game since the Hawks series. So they've
what we were
won
saying about Colorado as well.
Yeah, my goodness
gracious. The NHL. So
yeah. So what now? What 12 in a row, something like that, I guess, or 13 or 11 in a row, something like that. It would have
been the back half of the Hawks series.
Yeah, so it would have been 3 in a row there.
2 series from that, so that's 8. 11. So like 9, 10.
Yeah, I think 11 now because they've swept the last 2 series and they won the last 3 from the Hawks because they were down 2. They were down 2-1. The Hawks had that series 2-1 and then let it get away. So now if you're a Hawks fan, you're not feeling so bad about things because you're seeing how the Knicks have just kind of tore through everybody else. Hey, let's get to our Jasper Coca-Cola text line. We've got some time right here. Several different comments coming in. One of those was referring to our list that we had there earlier, and one of the listeners said instead of one country artist, they like playlist. Spotify playlist. Coastal Cowboy puts a good list together. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that one, Coop. I don't know.
What is Coastal Cowboy?
That's
like Kenny Chesney, Jimmy Buffett?
That's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming it has to be something more beachy, right? Which
I'm good with that.
Oh yeah, no, I like a little bit of that right there. Little Kenny Chesney, little Caribbean type, out there wearing the cowboy hat and the tank top and all that. Man, yeah, I can get down with that.
Is that when you drink your peach tea?
That's my look right there
with your straw cowboy hat and a white tank top.
Straw cow. Listen at you, man. Piling on right here on this Tailgate Thursday. Man, my man Will Cooper. Hey, another listener. Did you see the article on Ted Turner's penthouse that the design was still old school? No, I didn't. I don't think I saw that one. Did you see that one?
I think CNN put it out, but I saw the video clips of it. It's really cool. It's basically above the CNN Center. Yeah, you have to look it up. And it is like a time capsule. I mean, he's got a phone next to the toilet on the on the wall. I mean, the designs look like, you can tell that at the time when it was built, it was top of the line modern, because some of the stuff doesn't look that old in it.
Right.
But then when they show like the kitchen and stuff, you can see that it has aged dramatically.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was actually a really cool article to read and see the pictures and the video from it.
That's awesome. Our Jasper Coca-Cola text line always open, 866-888-0744. A lot of anonymous posts this morning coming from different people. I promise these are legit. But we do encourage you to put your name and hometown on them, because we do want to know who you are and where you're listening from. At least your first name, or you can come up with a nickname. I don't care. You can come up with a radio handle like we do here, the Golden Boy and the Professor. Another listener says, at what point do you think the European mind will finally comprehend American football's superiority to their silly runabout on a poorly measured field? So there you go. Talking about soccer, that. Of course, as well. Yeah, I love
That's
it.
Perfect. Let me put it like this: the European mind cannot even begin to comprehend the violence nor the enjoyment of the violence that us Americans have of college football. Those poor geezers over there, they're miserable, man. I mean, they're being infiltrated, first of all. If you live in Britain, then your weather's horrible. If you're anybody in the greater continent, you've lost some war within the last 100 years that makes you feel some way about your national identity. So that they'll never understand it, man.
And there's all we've talked about it. There's all those memes like during the draft, right? Where they're taking this wide shot of like 300,000 people standing there, watching a guy standing at a podium calling out names for 3 hours. And it says the European mind simply cannot comprehend this, And so it just goes to show you how much of an emphasis, for better or for worse, our culture here in America places on athletics. Now, as a sports guy, we love it, of course, but, it is one of those things where it's like, man, there's other people watching around the world going, my goodness gracious, man, are you serious? But it's fun.
By the way, did you see the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, what she said? She's the congresswoman from New York.
AOC, yeah. Nah, what did she say?
So she did some rally, and she's standing behind bulletproof glass, and she says it's time for New York to pull up to Alabama, Georgia, Carolina,
I did. Yeah.
The amount of people that have turned that into a college football edit, and in the comments of those edits, people are like, the state of Georgia would formally like to invite Tennessee to participate in the New York infiltration, or Kentucky, or Texas and Oklahoma.
Awesome.
It's hilarious, dude.
I did see that.
We've never been more united.
Well, I saw one with Alabama where it shows her saying something like that, and then it shows, Alabama running out of the tunnel and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff. And we don't get political, obviously, right here on the show, but it is kind of funny to think about that stuff. Hey, I think it was one of the same listeners. They responded and said, did you see, and we're just kind of jumping around right here in this third segment, which is fun, but did you see the tennis coach that left the Fokina in the middle of the tournament? Apparently they left out of there. So, so I did not. Man, I feel like I'm behind, man. I appreciate you guys out there keeping us straightened out here, but you're nodding your head because we do talk tennis a lot during our final segment with the Cooper Predictor, which is something you've got nailed down there. But, man, there's a lot of things going on here. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was at Roland Garros, the French Open,
right?
Big clay tournament. But Fokina, I forget his first name. It's like, it starts with an A, but just got so annoyed by his serving because he wasn't winning any set points. He just got up and left. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
It reminds me of that. You remember that kid that was making his college decision on national television for football, and the mom got up and left because they all thought he was going to Florida or wherever it was, or they thought he was going maybe to Alabama.
He was going to Georgia, and he committed to Florida.
And the mom just got up and left, like just walked out. I think just her emotions got the best of her because she was surprised, and she was they interviewed her, later on, like a week later or whatever, and apparently she was just like, I was kind of caught off guard and didn't like the fact that I wasn't in the know and or whatever. I don't know, because they're all decked out in Georgia or Alabama gear or whatever, and then he throws the Gator hat on, and the mom gets up and just walks away. It's like, man, that's just classic. Oh my goodness! Hey, I do want to talk a little bit right here before this final break about, and we'll kind of continue the discussion because we are up against the final break. But again, speaking of high school football decisions, you and I had a conversation earlier in the week with my man Art Mosley. We were driving back from the game on Monday after having called the Pickens High School State Championship, and we were I guess it was driving down that morning actually, and we had a conversation, you and I and Art, about high school, the power rankings in Georgia, and how that's going to work and how that's going to look moving forward. So not even as much as we talk about high school and as much as we talk about the NFL or college football, I should say, as much as we talk about that, high school football even is going to be looking a lot different next year, particularly in the state of Georgia, because now all the classes are adopting the power ranking thing. They kind of played with it a little bit this year in the smaller classifications, like I think 3A and lower, I believe.
Yes.
And now I think everybody's going to be going to that. So you're going to have some teams. It's no longer going to be particularly like in football, but I guess really for all the sports. I mean, it's not just going to be the top 4 out of every region that go to the playoffs moving forward. I mean, there's going to be some debate that's going to happen now moving forward.
Yeah, so your region champs are always going to get in. The problem is that everybody gets lumped into one bucket, and it's a 32-team seeding. I have some big complaints with the system. They basically stole it from South Carolina.
Yeah.
And that's where they got it from. I actually created my own. It's on. I put it online. If you go to my Twitter account, it's the Cooper Ranking Index.
Okay.
It's my answer to what they didn't do right. I know we're up against a break, so I can bring that up when we get back from it.
Yeah, we'll come back. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and hit that final break. We'll come back. We'll talk about it here in just a moment. Again, right here. Hey, visit us on social media. Sports Pigs on Facebook, Morning Rant on Instagram. You can also watch full video episodes of our show on YouTube daily. Again, the podcast version of the Morning Rant is also available on our website every day at sportspigradio.com and wherever you listen to your favorite daily podcast on both Apple and Android platforms, including Spotify and Podbeam. You can also catch us on Twitter. I'm at Dave Garner 777. He's at Will24 Cooper with 1L, and this is the Morning Rant. Hey, stay with us right here on the other side of the break. We'll talk a little bit of high school football power rankings and the Cooper Predictor before we get out of here today. All that much more straight ahead on the final segment of this program here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
You entrusted your loved one's care to a nursing home, expecting compassion and quality treatment. Instead, they suffered from neglect, abuse, bed sores, falls, or medication errors that could have been prevented. I'm Chris Brown from Geiger Legal Group. Our elderly deserve dignity and proper care, not negligence that causes pain and suffering. When nursing homes fail in their duty of care, we fight to hold them accountable. Your loved one's suffering matters. We'll stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves.
Call Geiger Legal Group at 833-HELP-GLG and let us tell your story today.
Grand Slam! 98.1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, the official home for the Atlanta Braves baseball. From the buzzer beaters to the big hits. If it's making noise in the world of sports, we've got something to say about it. This is Now That's What I'm Talking About.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your all-access pass to the hottest takes in the world of sports.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Rant, our final segment of the Tailgate Thursday, presented by your friends at Green Heating and Cooling. Dave Garner alongside my man Will Cooper here on a Thursday, Tailgate Thursday. And we were talking before the break about high school sports. You've got a pretty good system here that you've shared with me, and this is kind of beyond the Cooper Predictor, but man, you are rocking and rolling right here a little bit. You've got your Cooper Ranking Index, and so I want to continue that discussion as we talk about high school sports. We're going to continue to do this more so as we get closer to the season. As John says, we always sit here and promise we're not going to talk about football, and then something pops up in the news, and we're talking about football here even in April and May, but now we're getting into June. So it's almost time to start the conversation anyway. I mean, we're only really just a couple months out from playing, our first high school football games there. So as we mentioned before the break, the seasons are going to look a little different because of the power rankings system that the GHSA is implementing this year. No longer is it just the top 4 out of each region that go to a postseason. As you said, the region champs are locked in, but beyond that, man, it's kind of, it's based on power rankings, strength of schedule, all that sort of stuff, just like we see at the college level.
Yeah, it is. And to me, the big thing that college is doing that isn't much of a justice, or for high school with the new PSR, I should clarify, is that they're not really taking into account some things that I thought needed to be addressed. Part of that is regions don't matter. There's no benefit to having a stronger region. So when you look at 5A, for example, Kell and Rome getting thrown into the conversation with the Creekview, Sequoias, Woodstocks of the world. There's no net benefit for having a stronger region, which is why we saw Gainesville try to get out of the strong region with Milton and Roswell before they were forced back into it last year.
Right.
Because, jump ship, get your wins.
Yeah.
Second thing, classifications don't matter. So out of region schedule, the thing that I see as the biggest issue with that is you have a team like Calhoun that wins 8, 9 games, 10 games every year in the regular season. They're a 3A school. Well, I see a world where a team like Buford or Collins Hill would say, hey, we're going to pay you X amount of money. Come drive over here and get your butt kicked. So then you can go win the other 9 games you play, and we'll get a great benefit to our PSR rating. Nobody ever thought of that. And then head-to-head is the other thing. If they don't really have like a tiebreaker system there.
Yeah.
So, that's the other thing too, is the head-to-head's going to be a bit of a trouble.
Yeah.
Or if I remember correctly, it even might get too convoluted of chains within X, Y, and Z.
Sure.
To me, I had a formula with my Cooper ranking index that basically says if you're within 5% of each other in your power ranking, then head-to-head can matter. But if not, then no, it doesn't get to trump anything you do. Because if the math shows you're 7-8% better than a team, you may have been better that Friday, but that's not indicative of the season. So
I like it.
Just some things that we clarified on our side that they did not do a good job of.
Yeah, and if you're interested in finding out about this right here, again, my man, the Golden Boy, Will Cooper, joining us right here on the Morning Rant. Man, he's an expert. He's been doing it for a while here, talking about high school sports. You and Art, of course, have a podcast you guys do, focusing a lot on Cherokee County football and different stuff. But really, we focus all over North Georgia there. But tell folks, man, how they can find some of this information, man, throughout where they can get it.
Yeah, Google the Cooper Ranking Index will take you right to this specific article. It's also on my Twitter account. I'll pin it to the top. So if you're on Twitter or whatever, you can go look that way as well. But yeah, that's a pretty basic way to get it. Just Google it, man.
There we go, man. High school sports. There we go. That's our prep rally, our high school roundup today. We're going to continue that conversation as well as we climb closer to high school football season, because it'll be on us before you know it. Cherokee High School playing in a new stadium this year, a new school. Sequoia has been moving a lot of dirt over there as well in Hickory Flat. You mentioned Calhoun, Cartersville, Dalton. I mean, all those traditional powerhouse programs. Excited to see everyone. Again, everyone pretty much now out of spring football practice as the school years come to a close. So now it's summer workout time, man, as these guys, get the weight room and get ready for the summer ahead. So looking forward to it, certainly right there. Hey, let's talk about a little money.
It's time for the weekly Cooper Predictor.
60% of the time, it works every time.
On the Morning Rant.
All right, so we were talking about some tennis earlier, and we were talking about, Roland Garros, again, the French Open and all those things right there. You got more tennis for us this week, man, or where are we going with it?
Yeah, I got some more tennis for you. I'm actually pulling up MLB right now. It's running while we speak.
Oh, there we go.
Is technology.
Oh, man.
It'll be done in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, yeah, Roland Garros, if we want to take a look at that. Like, for example, here coming up at the top of the hour, so everybody grab your phones, get ready.
Yep.
Ben Shelton, minus 212 over Rafael Colignon.
Okay.
Big fan of Ben Shelton in that spot. We also have Brandon Nakashima. That'll be at the top of the hour as well. Again, all these French Open. He's a minus 245 over Luca Van Asch.
Yeah.
Big spot for Nak in that position. So those are a couple that we like on that front. And then turning our attention to baseball, I've got two for y'all. The first one is going to be take Boston money line. We're looking for Atlanta to lose the series here. I know it's a bit of a bummer,
Man,
but math says what it says.
It's kind of hard when you have that emotional
Peyton Tolley starting.
Yep.
You can get Boston at plus 127 right now. Great odds. And then we're also going to go with Houston on the money line. They have dropped both games to Texas that they've been playing. Spencer Arrighetti on the mound for the Astros. They're bad, but they're not bad enough to get swept by the also bad Rangers. Again, you can also get them at plus 127. So 2+ money bets. We just need one of them to hit in order to make some money today. So that's what I got on the list for you guys. 2 tennis, 2 MLB.
I love it, man. The Cooper Predictor right here on the Morning Rant. Again, our Tailgate Thursday edition of the program. The Predictor ever evolving and adding more and more. But again, big weekend. We talk about golf and tennis and all the different sports here. Billy D's kind of our golf expert. You tend to follow a little tennis right there. So I like it, man. And some high school sports here today, as we talked about earlier in the show, in case you missed it. If you're in or around Pickens County today, if you're around Jasper area, the Walk of Champions, it's not necessarily a full-fledged parade, so we're calling it the Walk of Champions. The Pickens High School baseball team will be honored along Main Street today as they walk down Main Street, and they will eventually, the plan is right now, weather certainly, pending here, but the plan is for them to kind of walk down to the corner there to where the old Mule House restaurant is, right there on the corner of 53 and Main Street, and then kind of circle back around to the courthouse, which is kind of in the middle of the route, and they're going to congregate there in front of the county courthouse, and that'll give folks a chance to, hang out, talk to the players, recognize them. Our live coverage from 4 to 6 today over on our sister station, 101.1 The Pulse. Looking forward to it. May have to see what they got going on in Cherokee County down there in Woodstock for the Etowah Eagles. Again, they'll be celebrating another state championship as well. What a juggernaut they've become in high school baseball, as we talked about it, and you and I mentioned this the other day, Coop, on Tuesday. There was a time a few years ago where it was, Etowah and Woodstock playing each other for a state baseball championships. Two schools, less than 2 miles away from each other, playing in a state championship at a different location or what have you. But it was great to see this year the Braves minor league affiliates, being basically the home bases, if you will, for the state championship games. You had games over in Rome, at the Emperor's Home. We were down in Columbus at the AA affiliate Clingstones, and then you had, of course, the AAA affiliate Gwinnett, Stripers there, the Cool Ray Field, hosting the 5 and 6A brackets. And, the GHSA, kudos. I know a lot of folks like to dog on the GHSA. I know I've said things at times, but I got to hand it to them, man. They did really well this year with the venues and working around the weather, which is something we all know we don't have control over, but the way they were able to balance it out and schedule it out and work with the minor league teams and their schedules and everything, it was just great. So, again, hats off to, my friend Marvin James down there, the media director for the GHSA, and all of our friends at the Georgia High School Association for a job well done there. State soccer wrapping up, the track meets as well, golf, tennis, you name it. Spring, a busy time of year for high school sports, and now the entire school year is basically athletically and academically is in the books. There's still some teachers wrapping up post-planning this week, and we certainly want to send our thoughts to all the teachers and administrators and faculty out there wrapping up yet another school year here in Georgia. Man.
Yeah, congratulations to all the grads. Congratulations to all the teachers. You made it. Enjoy your time off.
You made it.
You made it. And yeah, you point about the GHSA. It's always great to see, when sports get the attention they deserve in regards to our community partners, including the Atlanta Braves organization, which holds all of the minor league affiliates. Same thing with the GHSA being able to move the football games back to the bins.
Right.
That's such a great opportunity for those kids, players, coaches, teams, to get that ability to play in a place that is deserving of the recognition. So all in all, I thought they did a fantastic job as well. And to answer your trivia question there, Etowah and Woodstock played each other twice for a state title, once in 2016 and then a second one in 2021, I want to say.
It's just a few years, maybe five years ago, something like that. But they've played each other twice. And you think about the players who've come through that program. You've talked about Drew Waters of Etowah, Nate Markakis from Woodstock. I mean, a lot of great players, and guys that have made a career out of it have come through those programs over the years there. So, something about Woodstock, Georgia, man. They got it going on with baseball. You got East Cobb baseball right down the road. I know that some of the Pickens High players even travel down there and play. So, got East Cobb baseball. You've got that, I think it's that 643 group as well that's feeding players, man. I mean, they're baseball factories. We think about that with football because, like you said earlier in the show, football is king, right? Especially here in the South. Basketball is big as well. A lot of great talent comes out of Georgia. But you kind of forget about some of those spring sports and how many pros the state of Georgia puts into the MLB, and some of those other places as well. So, it's great to see us excelling on the diamond there. Hey, out of time on this edition of the program. Thanks for joining us once again right here on a Tailgate Thursday. I'm sure tomorrow the rebuttal from my man Big John Davis, the refrigerator mover, will be a fun one on our Friday happy hour edition of the program. Next Wednesday, we're live at the John Davis Classic out at Bent Tree, and we hope that you'll join us there. We'll talk about that more tomorrow as well. Thanks for joining us, Willie Coop, man. Thanks for bringing it right here on a Tailgate Thursday, my man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Drink a peace tea for me.
I will. In your honor, I will drink one in your honor today, and I will send you a pitcher, partner, just for that. Appreciate all the folks there chiming into our Jasper Coca-Cola text line. Once again, 866-888-0744. A lot of activity today on the text line. Appreciate you guys listening. As always, you can catch us again on Instagram. Full video episodes daily on YouTube. The Morning Rant podcast version also available on our website at sportspigradio.com. Thanks for joining us. Chuck Oliver up next with Southern Sports Today, the king of college football. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Tired of shouting your business's name into the void and getting nothing but crickets? Your brand deserves more than awkward billboard glances and flyers lining bird cages. Right now, listeners are hearing me ramble on instead of your ad. That's a touchdown for missed opportunities and a fumble for your wallet.
Recovered, Atlanta. Game over.
Your ad could be here, making fans laugh, cheer, and most importantly, call you. Go to sportspigradio.com or call 678-454-9552 and get your business off the bench and into the game.